Screen glow on my face at 3 a.m. Ninja trader hums a digital hymn. Futures flicker red and green ballet. TikTok silent, YouTube's just static today. Candlesticks climb, then they fall like rain. My portfolio's a ghost, no one to explain. Lonely days, trading in the void. Charts don't lie, but they don't make a noise. I watch the ticks, they dance in the dark. No likes, no comments, just my beating heart. Full port, empty room, what's the cost? Is this a profit or just a lost cause? Alone in the charts, I'm a one-man show. Candlesticks for hours, no one to know. TikTok trends fade, YouTube stars align. But I'm here with my trade, stuck in this time. Alone in the charts where the numbers collide. Futures rise and fall, but I'm by my side. No audience claps, no one to cheer. Just me in the market, year after year. My phone pings once a spam email plea. Boost your followers, be a celebrity. I delete it fast like a bad trade gone wrong. Cause my world's in the lines where the trends belong. Volume spikes, then it drops to a crawl. I sip cold coffee, stare at the wall. Lonely days, but I can't look away. This is my life, for better or worse, okay? I watch the ticks, they dance in the dark. No likes, no comments, just my beating heart. Full port, empty room, what's the cost? Is this a profit or just a lost cause? Alone in the charts, I'm a one-man show. Candlesticks for hours, no one to know. TikTok trends fade, YouTube stars align. But I'm here with my trade, stuck in this time. Alone in the charts where the numbers collide. Futures rise and fall, but I'm by my side. Maybe I should log off, go outside, breathe the air, see the sunrise. But the market waits, it never sleeps, and I'm addicted to the chase, the secret it keeps. What if I win? What if I lose? Does it matter if no one's here to choose? I guess I'll stay in this digital cage, trading my days, page after page. Alone in the charts, I'm a one-man show. Candlesticks for hours, no one to know. TikTok trends fade, YouTube stars align. But I'm here with my trade, stuck in this time. Alone in the charts where the numbers collide. Futures rise and fall, but I'm by my side. Alone in the charts, I'm a one-man show. Candlesticks for hours, no one to know. TikTok trends fade, YouTube stars align. But I'm here with my trade, stuck in this time. Alone in the charts where the numbers collide. Futures rise and fall, but I'm by my side. Screen fades to black, I close my eyes. Tomorrow's a new chart, a new disguise. Lonely days, but I'll wake up again. Cause in the end, the market's my only friend. I'm a one-man show. Candlesticks for hours, no one to
Just want to make sure microphone's working correctly. I don't know why this thing's like this. I mean, dude, this looks like a big, massive bear flag at the moment, guys. We will just have to see. You can see this big bear flag. It's almost like... I just didn't know if we would rerun that 4-hour low back down at 112. So we've already ran this 4-hour high. So I just feel like we need that pullback before we move up higher, since we've been selling off all night. So definitely feel like that 25,100 is a nice target down to the downside. That's also your midnight opener. Hopefully we just don't get it before the market starts selling, you know. So got a nice size 15-minute candle. So it looks like it's what, 35 to about 12. So you're looking at about, I don't know. It's here. Let me put the 50% on that real quick. Got a nice bear flag on the ES. So show mid price. There we go. All right, so there's your 50% of your 15 minutes. So that would be your kind of your stop loss area if you're playing the 15-minute breakout. What's up, futures trader? How are you doing today? Woo! What's up? Just got here. How are you doing? Man, I feel like, do we be careful today, guys? Because it could just be pretty wild today. Either we're going to end up with a bunch of choppy mess, or we're going to have like some crazy move to the downside. I mean, how do we move up 700 points without some kind of pullback? Slightly green. Ooh, it's just going to be about protecting our fundeds. So hopefully we can find that one funded trade and go to evals for the rest of the morning. So my only thing is, I don't know if 20 points is going to be enough for a stop loss. Because, you know, like when we just get crazy wild volatility, like 20 points will just get wrecked in a heartbeat. I mean, the ATR has to be, I mean, what, those big red candles off to the side on the 5 minutes are like 60 points. What are those? Yeah, 60 point 5-minute candles. And you know, once the market opens, it's going to get pretty wild. Like I said, I like the move to the downside here at the opening. I feel like this is just one big old bear flag here. We got a big old bear flag on the ES, big old bear flag on the NQ. Man, I just feel like we could just dump here. I feel like we want to rerun that 4-hour low of that previous 4-hour low candle down at the 25,100s. Or maybe we can look for manipulation to the bottom, even though that's a big move to go back out the top. So that is the move I prefer to trade. I find it very hard when it just sells off and sells off or goes straight up. It's really hard to catch those. So they can be very, very difficult this morning. Let's see where that could go. 2586. It says buy the dip mode. How deep does a dip go? Yeah, no, that's the it's so hard to catch that opening when it just goes in one direction without a pullback. To me, those are the hardest openings to trade. You're either in it from the beginning or you're just sitting here on your hands watching. So with the size of the move that we sold off last night, that man, it could easily be like that today. Unfortunately, we could get this move from the get-go, and all we can do is just sit here and watch. You just don't want to be like a instant stop out. I know I know yesterday we had to kind of wait quite a minute to get our funded trade. So that's okay. We will be patient and wait this morning, guys. Yeah, we could just dump. Just try not to over leverage if you are going to trade this. Maybe it might be one of these days where you downsize a little bit. What is that? Already, what? Since this first 15-minute candle was created, we're already down, what? The high of that candle was sitting at about 38, and we're already down 50 points. So, like I said, I feel like it wants that, especially if we lose the 86 here, if we lose the 86, it should be straight down to the London lows. We got the London lows sitting down there at 25,130. So that's your next target down, and below the 130s is your Asia low. It looks like at the 25,112. Oh, wait, no, that's your midnight candle. So I can definitely see a 25,100 retracement here. And I want to say that's your 4-hour low. If you look at your 4-hour low candle, kind of bring it in a little bit. I want to say the 4-hour low is somewhere in here. Hopefully it's not off too bad. I could be wrong because the time frame is off a little bit on these candles because I'm in a different time zone. Maybe I'll fix that real quick. How much time we got left for? Yeah, we got 7 minutes. I'll fix that real quick so we can actually see the real 4-hour low. So that should be from 2 to 6. Okay, so what is that, about 130, 125 to run that 4-hour low? Yeah, my times are off a little bit, like I said, because we're in a different time zone than where we usually live. Usually I'm in Central Time, and this week I'm in the Eastern Time Zone. So we're off about an hour. See, gold looks like it's trying to curl back over. So lately, I've, like a lot of people has been pointing out in the chat, anytime that gold is, moving up or down, the ES is doing the opposite. So, we can kind of watch gold too and see what gold's doing. Boom. Is anybody buying the breakout this morning? Did anybody make any money on their eval or funded last night during the big breakout last night? I think about the only thing I made off that breakout last night was like $100 on an eval, and we got back some of the money that we lost on our Lucif account yesterday. Thank you guys for the likes and follows today. I'm not sure if we'll be streaming tonight. I may have something to do this evening. We'll have to see what tonight brings. Guys, we got about 3 minutes until opening. Like I said, we're just going to be looking for 10 points and a runner on the funded. Like I said, I do like the move to the downside on this one. I think we're still creating like a little bear flag here. I don't know if we're going to rerun this hourly candle up here. There's a lot of consolidation sitting between the 40 and 50, but that doesn't really mean anything in the opening whenever we're just, pumping hard. So we'll have to see. Just be careful today. I feel like we could possibly just have those big moves where, unless you got some massive stop loss, that it could just get wrecked so quick. So just be aware of that. Like even those 20-point stop loss may not even be enough when the market is moving. Whenever you got like 40 and 50-point 5-minute candles, like it can just ruin your day so quickly. I try not to enter on breakout candles if I can't help it. So we try to make sure we always have a new printed 5-minute candle before we enter. And this way we can let it wick back. And this way, if that wick's just going to be the pullback, we can use that as our stop loss. So, or either that or off some kind of support and resistance. Like I said, I definitely like the move to the downside. We got about a minute and a half left, so just be super careful. So break out the 15 minutes, pull back into the so to see if you look at that, where that pull back to, that's like the 50, what is that? Right there at the top of all that support on those previous 3 1-hour candles. Like I said, I definitely like the move to the downside. I mean, that was a pretty big, that was almost like a trend line retest if you draw your trend line back to where I had it earlier. See, that was your trend line right there. So this candle was your break, and that would have been your retest. What's up, Raul? I may not be talking too close to the mic. Yeah, I'm gonna have to get my mic adjusted where it's not so inconsistent. I don't know. I think we may just be watching this for a few minutes. I'm not sure what's going to happen. So that would have been your 90 hit. Man, this thing could just dump so far down in the next few minutes. Like I want to jump in, but I don't want to jump in. Oh, man. See what happens with the... There's your 75. So let's see what happens. Yeah, this thing's probably going to be dumping. I think it goes all the way down to what, the 100 for that 4-hour candle. I need to see some kind of pullback here first. There's your 50. Let's see. Man, this thing's probably not coming back. Just ran the previous 1-hour candle. It's definitely going to be a lot safer to wait for that second 5-minute candles, guys. I mean, unless you just took the complete breakout with that manipulation of the 15 minutes back up there. Is this the London lows here? I think this is the London lows, guys. Yeah, this is the London lows through 34. I'll look at questions in a minute, guys. Let me just kind of focus in on the opening for a few minutes and see, because we're looking for our funded trade, and so we got our 15-minute, our midnight opener sitting down there at what, 25,100. So nice rejection off that London low. We're about to have that new next 5-minute candle. So big wick on that 5-minute candle. So that's usually not the best candle to enter on. It's not as clean. So that would have been the retest of that leg at 70, what, 75? I still like the shorts, but I didn't like the fact that this thing has such a massive wick on it. Usually whenever you get this such a massive wick, the price action is so iffy. If we got to be patient, we got to be patient. Just wait and see what happens after the 5 minutes. Looks a little cleaner. We kind of opened up about the same way yesterday. Either that or you can see this could be a pullback into this zone up here. Back into that 9 o'clock, 15 minutes. We got that same pullback yesterday before we sold off on that third candle. Remember, guys, we're just still waiting. Like I said, anytime that usually we get a 5-minute candle where you got like a 30-point wick, the very next candle is usually pretty crappy. So it's almost like we're going to have to wait for this candle to print. Then hopefully that next candle will break the inside bar. So this next candle could create an inside bar here. What's up, Matthew? What's up, Nathan? Like I said, sorry if I'm not looking at the chat at the moment, so just give me a minute. Remember, a very tough area to trade in between the 30s and the 100s here. This could be a big bounce off that 25,100 too. So just be aware of that because that's your midnight opening candle. And if you look to the left, you can see all this consolidation right here off of that. So it could just hit those 100s down there and just basically hit the brakes and reverse back up 100 points. So we did not get the inside bar here. We got about 50 seconds on the new 5-minute candle. Remember, guys, we're at the London lows. You got that midnight opener sitting around the 25,100s, 112s. So, yeah. Remember, we got a long ways we can move to the downside. So I feel like we have plenty of time to find a decent move. See, we about to have a nice close candle here. So kind of bouncing off the bottom of that London low there. So sorry, I keep adjusting my charts, guys. My camera's kind of in the way here. What's up, man? How are you doing? Would you continue trading last night, Nick? Yeah, last night, man, it just kept grinding and grinding and grinding. We get through the 25,100s, man. We should get a deep sell. There's your midnight candle. What? You're up $1,000? Man, that don't sound like something you would have done on micros. You must have slapped the minis on there. All right, we're getting through that midnight candle here. Remember, guys, we never take that 100 first push. That's very dangerous to take. Anytime you hit a whole number like that, you got to be patient and wait for the second push if it's going to push through. And right now, we're retesting the London lows. Whew. Might get a push this time. Let's see if we can push it this time. See if we can get 80 here. Son of a bee. Looks like we can get stopped out here. This will have to be my one funded trade. If it doesn't go. We got another 10 re-hit. Remember, we just do one trade and done on the fundeds. Well, at least one per account. So if we get stopped out, we'll put this one away and come back tomorrow with this account, then look for a different funded trade. Ooh, I could not get through this area. Son of a bee. Ooh, I've been stuck at this one level for a minute, guys. All right, let's try 23. All right, we'll switch to a new funded. Remember, we only lose about 120 per trade. Yeah, I thought since that was the second push on that 90, I thought we would at least get 75. Since that was the second push. Yeah, it took us back to 26,000, right at 700. Mm. Man, if we reclaim that London low, we may just be having a big move all the way back up to the 15 minutes here. Man, I was hoping once we got below that midnight low that we would get a little bit, at least back down to the 75s, or man, there is a lot of consolidation. That was right on top of those big candles too. This could be going all the way back up to the 225, kind of like a 15-minute retracement. And it's so hard to jump in this because we're in the middle of that 5-minute candle on moving up. So instead of being $800 away from a payout, that kind of knocked us back down to needing $900. Yeah, I've learned the key for me, man, is just do my best to try to keep my losses small, man. It seems like whenever I get away from myself, not keeping my losses small, I get myself in trouble. Uh-oh. All right, so like I said, that first trade was 121, and we'll just leave it there. There's no reason trying to get it back because we're still over the threshold. So I mean that still puts me only needing about $900 to get a $1,000 payout. So there's really no reason to stress about getting that back. Got about 20 seconds left on this 5-minute candle. So we got one more funded trade left in us, and after that, we'll be switching over to evals. Back off that London low again. That's still a pretty big pullback there. You would have preferred this to stay around that 20 to 40% of the 5-minute candle. Most of the time, if you start losing the 60, it's going all the way back down. Yep. It just traps some folks in. Dude. God, I do not want to take this same. I want to jump in, but I'm scared if I take the same trade, it's just going to do the same thing. Wow, what insane! Come on. All right, see if 75 holds for the push back up to the 90s. Maybe if we re-break the 75 again, we may get the 50 push. There's the, you want to see it push kind of back up into the 80s or 90s here. There's your 90 hit. You kind of want to see it come through the 75s. See, 100. Wow, so that's pretty normal. Wow, this thing's just crazy trapping, guys. You kind of want to see it start pushing back to that 75 range. You want to see the 100 hold up here. You really don't want this back above that midnight candle. Holy goodness. Got 1 minute left on this 5-minute candle. You'd like to see this candle kind of close in a little bit with the next candle kind of wick up, and that would be almost like a little order block there. The only thing that worries me is there's no wick on that 5-minute candle at the top side. I'd like to see an 89 retest here. Remember, there's no wick on top of that 5-minute candle either, so Dude, this thing's just wrecking. Woo! It's the 30 points, 40 point pullbacks that are getting you. I mean, that was a 40% pullback. So, I mean, that's a decent pullback. You just need to see it break those 75s. Remember, no wick. Well, I guess there is a little baby wick up there. What I think, 30, 29, 30 is your next target down. Or 25,000. What's up, Triangle? How are you doing? Sorry, guys, if I'm not focused on the chat at the moment. I feel like this is a good area for a short. We just need this OB to hold. Damn it. I just don't think we get back through here just because I think it's going to be hard to get back through that order block. Sorry, I was trying to look for one of my other charts here. Like I said, I still like to push down here. I feel like it'll take quite a bit to get through this big old order block here. Holy goodness, man. So far, super, super tough this morning, guys. Super, super tough. Still waiting to see if we can break this. Man, I thought once we broke those 70, 75s a while ago that we'd get a nice push down to at least the 30s. '89's kind of like that. Line in the sand here. Is everybody still kind of protecting their accounts this morning, guys? Oh, you're good. You're not missing nothing on the price action this morning. Got a massive order block. Man, I just thought that we would just continue down after that order block was created. It's almost like it's even too scary to enter just because it's just not very clean on the move down. And we're looking, we got the Asia low. Oh man, there's a lot of consolidation there at the 66. So now I see why we're not moving through that crap. Yeah, 66. There's so what is like 66? You have, it looks about 2 hours of consolidation there. I didn't even notice that. I'm just going to sit on my hands and just wait and see what happens with this 66 level, because this thing can just be very twitchy here in the 66. I don't know. The safer play would probably to wait for us to get under the 25,000s. Either that or we need to have some kind of big reversal here. "30 seconds left. I'm about to have a new 5-minute candle. I still haven't found my one chart. I'm looking for my small charts here. Did anybody have any luck with the big move down this morning? Is everybody just kind of still sitting on the sidelines? Yeah, about the only thing besides that first one I took a loss. I did hit the like 10 points, so we only got like $40. Now we're just kind of, it's even right now going to be very tough to even pull the trigger on the move down because there's so many candles down through there. I feel like we're just going to have a big pullback. big pullback. So our very first trade was a loss. So we're down 120 and we're up 40 on the funded. So like I said, it's going to be very tough for us to get down through those 40s and 50s. You look to the left over here. A lot of consolidation in this area. So it's going to take quite a bit to get through that. So it can basically cause us to have a very super choppy morning. So we'll just mark it out here. So basically that's what's going on. Oh, it looks like they're keep fighting. We need a big old pullback. I wouldn't mind seeing us retest the 15-minute candle back up there at 225. One tweet can change. One tweet can change everything. I'm not even going to touch this short, guys, unless we can almost get through the 25,000s. Because I feel like every push is going to be that. So every push down is going to be a trap. Either that or you just need to take your quick 10 points and get out. So, I mean, that'll be the safest way to do it. That's kind of what I did a while ago, where we just took the 10 points and got stopped out instantly. So until we break through this box, this consolidation box, it's going to be super choppy. So if you're taking shorts, be super careful, because I wish I'd have looked to the left a while ago. I wouldn't even have taken that short that we took for the first time, but I didn't look to the left and it cost me. Didn't look left. And so if you don't look left most of the time, it can definitely hurt you sometimes. I didn't think about all that consolidation. All I was thinking about was the big move that we had overnight. Excuse me. I still say we need like that 15-minute pullback where we run up to the top and kind of like a little 50% pullback. I'm not sure. I think this is only like, I want to say my fourth loss on this 25K. Since we've had it. So I think that was my fourth loss. I don't know what it is about the 26,800, but I have been struggling to get over the 800 mark. That was the second time I've been there. Then it seemed like the very next trade's a loss. Let's see. Yep, that would have been my fourth loss on that account. So in 2.5 months, we've only taken 4 losses on that account. Here they are right here. And the one that we'll get today. So that was my fourth loss on that account in 2.5 months. But as you can see, as long as you just take your one loss and move to the next day, it's not that bad. You just got to be able to live with that loss. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And this 50K, we've gotten 5 losses. You are doing that until you don't. I know, man. You got to be very super strict when you are doing that. You just got to be able to live with your red. You just got to get used to living with your red. So get a red day, just don't even think about it. Just get off of it. So like I said, I've had 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 losses in this account in 4.5 months. You just got to get used to taking your consistent losses if you are. So I'm going to put this away. Like I said, we took our 120 loss, so we put it away until tomorrow. Yeah, we're on the NASDAQ. Yeah, sorry if I missed your message. We're on the MNQ. And with fundeds, we're just trading 3 micros. Yeah, see that used to get me a lot too, Nick. I would have like a really good streak of winning time, and then I would let one bad day wreck my account. Yep, that is always the worst. Trust me, man. It took me a long time to get used to putting my accounts at their red day. Because I remember at one time, man, I get a red day, I'll be revenge trading like crazy to get that thing back to green. Just like the elusive count from yesterday. Remember, I was down $250 on that elusive account yesterday. Dude, it was so hard not to try to. It was so hard not to want to get that back on my elusive account. But we ended up taking we got part of that little move last night for 130 last night. So that 140 was from last night. To charge the Bitcoin tolls to pass. Yeah, I heard somebody talking about the Iran thing. There was something new I didn't know. So whenever that original leader got killed, apparently they put in place where they have 31, because they have 31 sections in Iran. So they have 31 people that's technically in charge. So they have like 31 different parliaments that have to vote. So you could have 5 parliaments that agrees to like what they're saying ceasefire right now, but the other 25 doesn't. So I think that's where you get a lot of misleading information. The United States could be just talking to one parliament, like, yeah, sure, let's have a ceasefire. But the other 20 says no. So I think that's what caused a lot of the misleading conflicts that you see in the news. I didn't know that either. I heard somebody was talking about that one day. I guess that's something they had put in place before that that last leader had passed. And I could be wrong. Maybe look that up just to verify that if that's right. I guess that would be like if they put the 52 states at under individual leadership. So basically what's going to happen is, man, we're going to sit here and consolidate for 30 minutes, and then you're going to get the blast, and all you can do is sit here and watch. Yeah, it's copy paste just for fun. Dude, I thought I just heard Methodical Man say he was in 15 micros. What is he? What? Let me watch his stream over there. What is Methodical Man doing over there? 15 micros. That's crazy. Come on, Methodical Man. 15 micros. Oh, shoot. We may get the dump. I just don't know how much of a pullback we're going to have. Like I said, I think once we sell off, it's going to be like a freaking freight train down to the 25K. I just don't know how long it's going to take us to get there without having some kind of pullback. But I think he should. I think you'll stay in there, Methodical. I feel like the shorts are still going to play out. I just don't know how deep of a pullback you're going to have. Like I said, so far, guys, just 2 trades, 1 loser, 1 winner with a 10 points and a break even on the runner. Oh, you're thinking that we could just chop the rest of the day for the FOMC? Yeah, but I'm not sure. I know we have do we have? No, it's not till the end of the month. I'm not sure how much those FOMC minutes moves to market because I don't usually trade the afternoon. So okay, it could if the statement changes. Yeah, see, I've never followed that FOMC minutes. I've always been kind of curious, but I'm usually never trading that time of the day, so I'm just not positive. I don't see how we don't move down. I think it's just going to be very, very tough to get down there. Now, this is a 5-minute inside bar here. Oh, well, hell, it fell because it broke out the top first. I'm so glad we didn't try this short again. Is there... Oh, you're saying the bulls can push it back to the VWAP? I'm not even sure where the VWAP's at, Glass. I don't have the EMAs or VWAP or anything on my charts. The only thing we're really looking at is like support and resistance zones and higher time frames. I used to watch a lot of the EMA on charts and the VWAP. I used to watch a lot of that stuff. I've just gotten away from it, and I guess I don't even think about it much lately. But I'm cool with anybody that wants to share, useful information that could help somebody, help somebody if they're, wondering where the VWAP is. Maybe they don't have access to the VWAP or something. Is that the VWAP down there where we keep bouncing off of at the 40s, the 50s and 40s? Is anybody trapped in a trade right now? The NQs is at 25.80. Different than the QQ. Oh, do we just finally just put the funded away and just go to eval? I feel like that's the direction we're heading in because it's already approaching 10:30, and usually, if I usually have my funded trade by like 10 o'clock or 10:15. Most of the time, we don't continue looking for entry later in the morning. What's up, Jamie? How are you doing today? Hopefully, you're not getting chopped up today. Yeah, we took 2 trades. The first one was a loser, Jamie, and the first one was just a 10 points and stopped out on the funded. So, and as usual, usually we just try to take our one trade with the fundeds, and it's either going to be a winner, loser, or break even, and we try to put it away. So I was debating if I wanted to take a second trade on this account, but I don't think I will. I'm thinking we just may just put it away for the day and move on to tomorrow. This way we just don't even lose the 40 bucks that we got. Yeah, if we take a trade, we may just move over to eval for the next trade. I'm still trying to get my elusive funded account. We still need another $250 for our elusive funded. I want to say I think that was just the 4th loss that I've taken on that account. Oh, you took the breakout up there? Nice. It was whipping so bad this morning that it was so hard for me to jump in. I just figured my 20 points would just get wrecked, so I didn't attempt it. I tried to short below the 100s. Then we got that big green candle back up, then the big red candle back down. So that's where we took our entry at. And I broke a rule, that something I try not to do, and it really cost me. And that was buy-in at the end of the 5-minute candle. It seems like anytime I do that, man, most of the time it wrecks me, and it did. Did the one thing that I tell myself not to do. Wow, we're building a really big wedge here. What are we on, the 3rd or 4th candle? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7th candle. So 35 minutes of consolidation, guys. The Asia low is sitting at 25,000. Another inside bar for anybody that trades those 5-minute inside bars. But usually we only take the first one. And we really haven't had one. Is there anybody trapped in a trade right now where you're just kind of sitting through some choppy mess? Is anybody trying to take the short to the downside? All right. We're going to probably switch off the funded accounts and just look for eval trades on the elusive. That account that you lost last night, Nick, was that your funded account? No, I'm not in anything right now. We did try the short. That's how we took our loss a while ago. What's up, Solo? Don't be buying anymore until I get my payout. I don't blame you. Ooh. You spent too much money the last 2 months. I do that sometimes too, where in the past where I've spent too much money on evals. I try to only, if I do buy evals, usually I try to just stick to those Bewley 90% off accounts. And I try to take care of my more expensive evals. So like this elusive eval that I'm trading now, I try to treat it like a funded account. What's up, Cherry? Unfortunately, man, when this thing breaks, it's probably going to happen so fast. All you can do is sit here and watch. We only have about 30 more minutes. Just sitting on the sideline. Do you not ever use that one stop out loss thing on Tradeovate, Nick? Where you can set your daily loss limit? I almost wish Ninja had something like that, or I just don't know how to use it on Ninja. Here it goes. Just the dump finally. I'm going to wait for the 25,000s to get hit. I feel like below that's the safer. You're going back to that. Yeah, I wish Ninja had something like that. Or I don't know how to use it on Ninja. Guys, until we get through this box, you're going to get this same type of price action. Like I said, I didn't look to the left when I started trading. This is all that consolidation that we're trying to get through. So until we get through that and get through the 25,000s, it's going to say super choppy. But man, if we can lose those 24,000s, man, there's just nothing to hold us up to the bottom side. You're holding to 47,949. You already set at 250 on my last funded. That's a pretty good stop loss, especially on a 50K if you're using 50Ks, Nick. Heck, I use 120 for mine on my 50Ks. So, but I treat my accounts now since we've already are over that threshold where we only got to make $1,000. So I usually have mine set at 120. 120 is usually, I try to not lose any more than 120 on mine. Now that I'm at that threshold. So we still need what? We're at 26,700. So we still need $900 to get a payout with that account. And we still need $950. What is that, right? See, 8, 9, 10, 21, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Yeah, $900 on 2 accounts. Jewel, are you in a trade? Are you taking a short down to the 25,000s? Nice micro. Dude, nice if you're actually finding some entries in this. This is not the best price action, man. You're talking about scalping. You gotta be just sniping in this price action. We're trading on a Ninja Trader. Clear. Oh. Yeah, I got quite a few indicators for Ninja Trader, but the only ones that I really use is the opening range indicator. And that's the ones that mark out all those higher time frames. And the ones that mark out my previous highs and lows. Highs and lows on my these here. Previous day open, close, high, low. I'm kind of waiting to see what happens with the 25,000. I feel like that's probably your safer bet. And at the end of the day, we're still only going to be looking for eval trades. I think we decided to put the funded away. You said you could not do NinjaTrader, but they have a lot of algo indicators you can get. Yeah, I have a few of those, but I think a liquidity sweep was the only one I used of theirs. In my Discord, I have quite a bit of the Ninja. The only thing is, man, some of those things go out of date, and it kind of messes things up. So I don't even really, like I said, all my indicators that I have on my chart are basically all the levels that I use and all these boxes that mark out the time frames. And it's called opening range indicator. See, almost all my indicators are these opening range indicators that I have with the different time zones. Yeah, there is a liquidity sweep indicator for. I can put it on if you want to see it. I still have it downloaded. I haven't used it. Yeah. You can see it. See these little green bars, the little red bars? Those are your liquidity sweeps. You see the red ones. One indicator that I like is the initial balance for anybody that likes the initial balance. Let me see if I can find it. I used to use this indicator a lot too. I like this one. For anybody that likes to do the initial balance. It's taking a minute to upload here. So this is another indicator that I used to use a lot. I haven't used it in a while. So this is your initial balance indicator. So what it does is it marks out your initial balance, which is at the 25,024. It also marks out your session mid and opening range, high and low. Then it kind of tells you how far you're outside your opening range. But I haven't really used this indicator in a while. But I like it if you like the initial balance. Initial balance is the 1 hour after the opening. So that would be 9:30. So it's kind of like if you like to trade the ORB, that opening 15-minute candle. It's the same thing, but you're using the after the hour open. So same thing. You're just kind of waiting for the break of that opening initial balance. And usually it's better if you can wait for a retest of the initial balance to take an entry. I still hear people using that one. So right now we're at the initial balance, which is at 25,049. I mean 42. And what a lot of people do is, so wherever move it, so it created the high first, so it created the low second. So if we break back above the session mid, a lot of times you'll get the 50% pullback. Look up the quarter theory. I don't guess I've ever heard of that either. Now, those setups like this, I usually only do those like on evals. I prefer the breakouts with the sweeper of the, sweep of higher time zones for my trades in the morning with the like high volume with my funded trades. So that's why most of the time by 10 o'clock, I'm not even trading my funded accounts. So you would also take the break of the, you can also look into the break of the initial balance. But we're going to take that off because that's just too much for me. We'll just take that off. There we go. I know. You know, I think about that sometimes too. Is whenever a strategy becomes super popular, dude, does the market change up? That's what it feels like sometimes. It's like you find that strategy, don't tell nobody. Oh man. Yeah, I'm kind of like with the peppercoin. I like it to be super simple as possible. Simple. Let me look at my one chart. I gotta keep an eye on a TikTok chart because that thing will shut down pretty quick, guys. There's just not a lot for us to do today, guys. All we can do is just sit on our hands. It's just super choppy. I mean, this is horrible price action. It's like I will not be sharing this on Discord. Just hoard it. I don't blame you, Micro. Oh goodness. I also like to take breakouts on Rico candles too. So far, man, this price action here, you just need to sit on your hands, guys. I mean, it's just paying like 5 and 10 points and reversing. This is what the Asia market should have looked like last night, but we were getting some crazy wild movement. Okay, so you just look at the volume and moving average. Nice. If I'd have looked to the left before we took our funded account, I wouldn't even have taken that thing. But I looked to the left and I noticed all that consolidation. So it was already too late because we already took the funded account. Man, guys, we only got like 15 more minutes. Maybe the lunch hour will give us our big move, and that way I can find some moves on my funded futures evals. So we still need to make another, what, $1,900 on our my funded futures 50K. So we still got a long ways. I think we're going to start focusing on that 50K every day instead of the Bulanox one. Did anybody hold this for the move down? Did anybody stay in this grind and price action where it just slowly moved down? There is no right. I wish we could look to the right, micro man. That way we know what's going to happen. Oh, goodness. Nice. Here we go. I want to say you should get, if we push through the 25s, we should get I would think, a big bounce at the 86 here. So we're finally getting through all that consolidation zone here. So you would think if we get another nice 5-minute candle, we could get a short here where we kind of bump back into that consolidation on the backside. So nice pop off the 25K. Should pop back up here. Oh, you're saying oil, the VIX is climbing. Oil is trying to get a bid up. Yeah, if oil can move up, we're definitely could get a nice sell there, Glass. Oh, you're thinking everybody's just taking profit? Dude, I can imagine all the people last night that bought gold up at the highs that got the rug pull. 20%, what? We sold off like 20% on gold. Not gold, but gas. So gas got a rug pull last night. I feel like that was the plan all along. Drive up oil prices on futures market, and everybody was shorting up there at the top. Just waiting on the news. I feel like that's happened to a lot of markets this year. You got to think what Bitcoin lost 50% earlier this year. Gold dropped down at least 1,000 or more. Silver, silver, I don't know if they got to the 50%, but at least 30 or 40%, because I don't remember what the high was. So everybody got a rug pull for everybody that was buying the highs on all those markets recently. This looks like a big old 5-minute bull line here. For the pullback here, you're probably looking at the 50 pullback. What, 49? Crushing the dreams. Yeah, no kidding. Glass, that's a good one. They're just crushing dreams. Oh. We really need to blast those 86. I feel like if we can get printed below that 25,000, this is where the low was last night before we went back up 250 points, the overnight session around this 110 to 25,000. I think here you would need to print below the 25,000 where you hit the 75, 86, bump back up and find resistance at the 25. Then maybe we can find like a trade on our eval here. Ooh. What was that, a 90 hit? So there's two big wicks right there from last night. So that's those two wicks. I think if we get through that, you may get a sell because there's nothing below that to hold us up all the way down to the 24,800s. So you could easily get a 200-point dump there if we get through those levels. There's just nothing down there to hold us up. That was just that big move up from news play. Sorry if you see me kind of peeking around my charts like that. It's because my camera's in my way. It already shot up. That would have been a very tough short to hold, guys, if you were holding that short to the downside here. I mean, we've sold down 100 points in the last hour, but that was a hard 100 points. I'm taking the 85. That may not be a bad bounce. I don't know how much of a bounce you're going to get for 36. Is that 36 micros? God. Oh, that's it wild. Oh, dude, you already popped that 10 points. Oh, man, that was close. Oh, you move your stop loss pretty heavy. I do that too if I do those bounce like that where I'm looking for an area of a bounce. You look for that quick bounce. Four more seconds left on this 5-minute candle. I think so too, since we've already hit that especially if we can lose the 75s here. Lose that 75s, we hopefully would get a push down to the 50 there and stay. Just make sure it doesn't push up. Like I said, there's nothing below that 89 to keep us from going down here. Hopefully we can get more points out of it without whipping back up here and stopping our runner out. Come on, no. Stay below the 50. Stay below the 50. That was a 25 hit. Come on. No, it's going to get us. God dang it. It's probably going down a lot farther. I was just trying to take whatever points we could. God dang it. I may still take the short. Let's see what happens here with the Rico candles. Dang it, what a nasty reversal that was. That thing went down 50 points with a 50-point wick. That is insane. What a trappy candle that was. Oh my goodness. Mm-mm-mm. Well, unfortunately, we got up about 40 points, Nick, but it just came back and gave me just 10 points, though. So I think we only took $60 out of that. Not even 60. Wait. Yeah, basically $60. 4 seconds on a new candle. Man, I don't even know what you do with this 5-minute candle. This thing's nasty. I mean, do we break the top of this candle and this thing just continues? I mean, you would think that this would hit the 30s before it would pull back here. Guys, this is like the most ugliest price action I've seen in a while. You're thinking we're going to retest the lows from here? Man, I don't even know. Oh, you mean the lows from overnight? Wait, the London low. Oh, I guess that would be what, your Asia low? Is that the lows you're talking about? That Asia low at the 25,000? Okay. That was an insane. Good time to pull the fib on this. Oh my goodness. It's so dirty. These are like the worst candles, man. It's like we get no 5-minute bodies, just all wicks. Mm. We only have about 5 more minutes, guys. Then I have to get my stuff set up to go to my funded futures. Then. You're still holding your short. Nice, Peppercon. I mean, I did not expect the big wick all the way back up. I really thought we were going to get the follow through on that move down. So that's why I really wasn't trying to take profit on that one. I thought we were just going to just keep dumping. Still got about 1 minute, 50 seconds left on this 5-minute candle. I mean, is this going to be a V-shaped recovery candle? %, all the way back up there at 25,100. I mean, everything is kind of crossing over. If you look at my Rico candles, all of my EMAs have crossed over. So this would be a pullback probably to 25,008 and 4. Oh, you're talking about that 25,008? Yeah, I wasn't sure if we would pull back into the 25,000s here for like a retest. I mean, this was an insane 100-point reversal. It doesn't even feel like it because it happened so fast. It's like we waited almost an hour to go 100 points down. It goes down 100 points and just rips right back up 100 points, right back into our chop zone. Oh no. You're, oh, I don't mind what you put in the chat. Oh, you're talking to oh, you're talking to the other guy. Okay. What time is it? All right. We only have a few more minutes, guys. Remember, guys, they also do giveaways every day on My Funded Futures. So if you want to enter on the giveaways, here comes that pullback to the 25,008, I think. What? 25,008, 25,004. We pretty much have stayed out of this price action for most part, guys. We have tried 2 funded trades. We were kind of 1 for 1 on the fundeds, and we took a small winner on that Lucif account a while ago. We are still not back to what we lost yesterday. So we're only up 185 on that Lucif account, and most of that came from last night's trade, not today. So we only made like $60 on that trade a while ago because that's what we were trading. This was that first loss, and I made a mistake by not looking to the right. I mean, looking to the left where we had all that consolidation here. So then I tried the short one more time, just got $40, and the runner got stopped out. So that's kind of where we're at this morning. Very, very slow morning. But we didn't really mess up anything, so that's always a good. Anytime price action is really bad, just try to take care of. My mistake was I looked to the left and near look back. That's a good one. Oh, goodness. Here's that area that if we're going to continue higher, you need to see hold. Ooh, are we finally going to start selling down right here? We got 20 seconds left on this candle, so let's just wait for this candle to print. I think they have forms on theirs, Nick. I've never done one before. They'll release forms at random during the live, and they do it every live. So they do giveaways like every single session. We're pretty much risking our profits that we made, or majority of our profits. Yeah, actually, this would take our profits away if we get stopped out. I'm hoping this order block holds here. Well, close to an order block. Oh, you got to be kidding me. This is Eve out here with just 3 micros, guys. Oh, it's a 15-minute candle rejection. Oh, come on. Yeah, the 502s on the pullback, 502s would have to hold. So there's the 500s, 502s. All right. Okay. Yep, that put us back to basically where we started out. Let's see. Let me find my Lucif account. Yep, back to 30 bucks. All right, guys, that's going to have to be my last trade. I have to get my stuff set up before we move over to my funded futures. Thank you, guys. And we will be back either tonight or tomorrow morning. Man, I still like the short. Thank you, guys.